What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, Sealz, the man. Thank you for coming back. And today it's time to get uncomfortable. Those uncomfortable conversations are the worst, right? You just have this weird feeling in your gut. You don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's something that needs to be said. Whatever it is, you have to get this off your chest to this person. It's funny because the uncomfortable conversations are the most important conversations. And because of that, there's a way you got to go about it. In today's video, I'm going to talk about specifically the best ways to have uncomfortable yet essential conversations with your guy. Because you know this channel is all about understanding the mind of men, good men, decent men. So before we get uncomfortable, make sure you subscribe to me right now. If you like content about understanding the mind of men, good men, decent men, if you like down-to-earth content, if you rock with me, if you like my style, make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this video, and as always, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate y'all's support. All right, let's get to it. All right, the first thing I'm gonna tell you and suggest to you when it comes to having those uncomfortable yet important conversations with your guy, not just any guy, your man, is that you have to keep in mind and make sure that everything you're going to tell him is out of love and not hurt. Now, no pettiness, all positive vibes, right? You have to make sure the foundation is positive. You have to make sure the ground that you're about to seed and plow and lay is fertile ground. Do not have these conversations out of hurt or pain. And if you are hurting or in pain, then maybe you should give yourself some time before having this type of conversation. It's kind of like being in the work field, right? And the person who sent you an email was coming at you all types of crazy, coming at you wrong. Before you match their energy, step away from the computer, take a walk, take a few minutes, get some air, and then come back and reply. Because if you just reply with how you're feeling at the moment, you might say something that you regret. All right, same applies to this. So the first thing, make sure you're keeping in mind that this is coming from love and not the opposite, right? The next thing I'm gonna bring up is that it's best to have these type of uncomfortable conversations with your man in a comfortable place, a positive place, a spot where you two are good at. Maybe even a place or a spot of good memories. You do not want to have these type of important conversations in places of distractions and negative energy and a lot of people, a place with bad vibes. It's not even always about how you say things to people, but the secret is knowing where you're saying the thing to the person. People do not talk about the environment enough. The scene is just as important as the actual conversation, because the scene, the place, the location will foster that conversation. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on the location. So make sure you're cognizant of that, all right? Tell him this conversation, have this conversation, hold this conversation in a good place. The next big thing to know when it comes to having uncomfortable conversations with your guy is to talk to him and not talk at him. So what's the difference between talking to someone and talking at someone? I'm asking you this because most of y'all have been through this. You ever been given instructions or you ask someone something and they answer you, but the way they answer you, the way they respond to you is the pivotal moment. You can say the same set of words, but it will be perceived differently based on how it's said. So if you ask a question and someone gives you answers and they say it with understanding, with positivity, with ease, that is different from answering that same question and saying it with attitude or cockiness, or as if the person is making you seem like you're dumb. Those are two different vibes. The first type of response is someone talking to you. The last type of response is someone talking at you. When someone is talking at you, they are not putting you into consideration. They do not have you in mind, yet they're trying to make a point to you. Them answering your questions is not the mission to them answering your question. The mission to them answer your question is to make you feel bad. It is a selfish type of response. While on the other hand, someone talking to you is doing it for you. They're trying to help you. They're coming from a good place. And you can tell the difference between the two based on the person's body reaction, their body language, the way they move their hands or their head or their shoulders, the vibe, the tone. They're two different vibes. So when it comes to your man and having this uncomfortable conversation, make sure you're talking to him and not at him. Make sure you're not making him feel bad. It is always good to make your man feel welcomed in these type of conversations, because once you make him feel welcomed, he will feel better at having more real conversations with you, because he's not going to feel judged or any other negative connotation. Talking at someone can start a lot of issues, and it says a lot about you. This next suggestion I'm gonna give y'all is crucial in having uncomfortable conversations with your man. Crucial, all right? After you say what you have to say, after you drop the bomb, be prepared for a tough reaction. Just be prepared that his reaction might not be a good one. He may be embarrassed. He may be shocked even. It might not be what you think, right? You never know how a man will react depending on what you said, the tone you said it. That's why the last point is so important. Even if you feel like you know your man, like you can say, oh, my man would never react in this way. But depending on what you say, the place you say it, how you say it, you just never know. So what I suggest is, in taking all those other suggestions that I gave you, is to also add in patience. Please have patience. Having patience is essential in receiving reactions. You gotta have patience, because sometimes you even have to have patience with him based on his reaction. Like if he's having a bad reaction and he just like, oh man, like he's going through it, have patience. Let it sit in. You gotta sit in that real quick. You gotta understand what's being said. After it settles, continue the conversation. You also want to have patience because you do not want to match his energy, the energy of his reaction. Therefore, you must have patience with yourself. Do not match a possible outburst with your own outbursts. Do not fight fire with fire in these situations, because it only makes things worse. But patience will help with this. Having patience with him and having patience with yourself. Now, this next thing I'm gonna give you is a gem when it comes to having uncomfortable conversations with your guy. And that is, always provide a solution. I find that telling people about their problems will do more harm than you know if you just leave them with that problem. Like, here's the issue that I have with your issue. Here you go. And then just walk away. That is never helpful. I make it a mission that if I'm helping someone or I'm making them aware of an issue or something that they need to work on, that I try my best to provide a solution. And not just any solution, a healthy solution. Because solutions are based on your perspective. But if the person that is giving the solution is jacked up, most likely their solution will be jacked up. And that don't help him either. So when you're giving a solution to the issue that you have with your man, to the thing that he needs to work on, make sure that you're giving a healthy solution, because healthy solutions will not only help him, it will not only help you, but it will help both of y'all in your relationship. Gotta be healthy. Also, when giving a solution, it shows that you care. It shows that you want him to be better. It shows the effort. It shows the effort that you took in order to look into his issue, look into his problem, and the fact that you found a solution, came up with a solution, shows that you care. It shows that you want him to be better. And that's a good thing for your man to see. So he doesn't feel like you're just nagging him or complaining. It shows that you're there with him too. Another thing I want y'all to take note of and keep in mind, before you even have this difficult conversation with your man, one thing I want you to do is to put yourself in his shoes. Putting yourself in his shoes can help guide your tone. It can help guide the things that you're going to say. It can help guide the way you're going to move in this conversation, the way you're going to react to his reactions. It can help let you know the things not to say. Because when you put yourself in his shoes, no matter what the conversation is about, you will only want to say things that you would like to be said to you if you were in his case. And you will not say things that you wouldn't want said to you. So that's a big thing to remember. And to cap it off, do this thing I'm about to talk about. If it feels right, if the tensions aren't too high or he's not super embarrassed, show some love. Always show love, but in this case, especially show love. Because you just had an uncomfortable conversation with your man, which is probably super embarrassing. He's probably thinking that you don't even want him no more. He's probably thinking a lot of crazy things right now. You need to give him confirmation. And the greatest confirmation is love. Show him that you're still there. Show him that you still love him. Show some affection. Give him a hug. Embrace him. It's just a positive conclusion. I'm all about having a great beginning, a great body of work, and a great conclusion. Sealz the Man is always about having a great beginning, having a great body of work, and having a great conclusion. That is what I believe is a proper way to communicate, a proper way to deal with people. Once you skip out on some of those parts or let things be loose, you can have some issues. So having a positive, strong ending and conclusion to that conversation is uber important. Because remember, when I said earlier in the video, you got to come at this conversation with love, out of a good place. You're having this conversation out of your heart. So you're starting with love, and you gotta end with love, because these type of conversations ain't easy. Let's be real. All right, so this is your guy Sealz the Man, giving y'all the best advice that I possibly can. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on my next video. Peace and blessings. Bye.